Trisha with us, and she joined us today for our 30th CME here in Bangalore. So Dr. Trisha, please introduce yourself and tell us about how you got to know about our CME and what you like most.
Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Trisha and I'm currently a naturopath. I'm from Prameya Health. So I got to know about the CME through Dr. Sandhya Ravi, who is also a member of PAN. So as far as what is nutrition has been with naturopath, it plays a very major role. And to actually open up and see that all the allopaths and even in that industry of modern medicine, nutrition is actually taking up a hold, and it's very good to see that everybody's acceptance when it comes to nutrition and how much of an effort that people are putting in PAN to make it as worldwide as well. And as far as all the speakers, everybody are the best in what they have spoken. And when I see the panel discussion and on every aspect, keep it surgery, keep it cancer, keep it diabetes or gynecology, anything it could be, and the importance of what a lifestyle modification do, and the emphasis on what it is giving to doctors also will help us treat better, and as well open the knowledge for all the other people who are coming up to the system and who are wanting to do something beyond just medication, but upon treating the person as the whole and giving the body its space and time to heal by itself. So this is becoming an eye-opener, and I'm excited to see what more this CME is going to give it. Thank you.
If I ask one word for this CME, just one word.
Exceptional.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Suchitra, I want to know one word about the CME, if you want to describe us in just one word.
A healthy doctor makes a healthy community, and that is very like an important crux for all the doctors present.
And please, your name and how you got to know about the CME and the best thing you like about it.
I'm Dr. Suchitra D from MBJ Medical College and Research Hospital. We were informed about the CME by our HOD sir, respected Dr. Chandregowda sir. And also I am very blessed to meet Dr. Stephen Anthony sir, who I met because of my sore throat condition on November 4th. And I feel he blessed me with this course of ENT, and I'm very thankful for this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Hello everybody, I am Dr. Harshita Jain, a lifestyle and a functional medicine doctor. Today with me I have Dr. Hemlata, who has worked at ICMR NIN for years and has brought in a lot of changes at the level of India, which is now going to be discussed in today's conversation. So let's hear from her that. Over to you. Please introduce yourself.
I am Dr. Hemlata. Dr. Hemlata worked in ICMR NIN for the last more than 30 years with a medical background. I did a lot of research.
Sorry, 1 second.
Okay. I am Dr. Hemlata with a medical background, did a lot of research in nutrition, particularly maternal and child nutrition. Worked in ICMR NIN for the last 30 years. And we have released nutrient requirements for Indians and food-based dietary guidelines for Indians, and also did a lot of work on macro and micronutrients in foods.
Thank you, ma'am. My first question for you is that what is ICMR as of now talking about nutrition guidelines? What is the latest things as a doctor, every doctor needs to know about food?
See, in 2024 May, ICMR NIN released dietary guidelines for Indians, and it is important not just for doctors but also for people and other stakeholders like policymakers as well. What we find is in India, the food landscape in the last 20-30 years has changed dramatically. We keep eating more calories, more number of calories, but very less of vegetables, fruits, and whole foods like pulses, legumes. The intake of these important foods is very, very minimal, very less. So here in this 17 guidelines that we have formulated and released last year, beautifully describes about what is important for across age groups, right from fetal age, fetal development to childhood, then adults and old age as well. And we have also beautifully defined what is unhealthy food, like foods that are high in fat, salt, sugar, and also we have made an attempt to define ultra processed food as well. So these guidelines are very, very helpful even for the physicians.
ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? So ma'am, can these guidelines be found on the official ICMR website?
Yes.
Okay, so all of you listening to us, please find these guidelines in the official ICMR website.
And if you write a letter to ICMR and 9, they'll supply free copies as well.
Great. So now we have that support and facility. Let's utilize it. So then my next question is, usually when you see a doctor's prescription, you will see tablet, capsule, you will see IV injections and all of it. But something which is missing is food. So how do you think a doctor can incorporate food into their prescription?
Food cannot be prescribed, but patient or individuals need to be counseled. And for that, even doctors should be adequately equipped about nutrition or food knowledge. Our curriculum is such that we hardly get any teaching on nutrition. We just learn about marasmus, kwashiorkor during our graduation. So I strongly recommend that government makes an attempt to include nutrition chapters in not only medical curriculum but also school education as well as college education.
I completely agree to that, ma'am. Like what we have learned as doctors, I think is just proteins, fats, nutrition, and just maybe like one chapter as such, not really much in detail how much someone else would learn. So that's why maybe it doesn't come first from doctors that, oh, this is what you can do at the dietary level. So now, what is ICMR doing to actually bring about this change? How is ICMR being a pioneer? As well as my another question is, how as each doctor can we take that responsibility in our hands instead of waiting for the entire system to change? What can we do about it?
See, doctors in your clinic, I mean, you'll be so busy. You'll hardly find anything when you talk to your patients. There'll be so many hundreds of patients waiting for you. So that is a big bottleneck. Even if you have adequate knowledge on nutrition with respect to doctors. Another second important point is time, paucity of time. You don't have that luxury of time that you can counsel a patient. Prescribing medicine is much easier than counseling about diet because diet requires a lot of interactions and explanations. So I don't think I should be putting whole responsibility on the doctors, but now I see that big change having attended this Indian Medical Association conference and Physicians Association for Nutrition conferences and seminars 2 times. I see a lot of enthusiasm and encouragement from doctors regarding nutrition, and they are really learning a lot and also spreading the message of nutrition to population. That's really very encouraging. Especially for cardiovascular physicians, cardiovascular doctors and nephrologists, it's very, very important that they counsel their patients with for nutrition along with therapeutic medicines as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I totally agree that today seeing a conference on CME, the entire hall is filled, which has about a capacity of 300 people, if I'm not wrong, or more than that. It's completely full and it is completely being spoken about nutrition. So I would like to ask you, how was firstly your experience at the conference and delivering a keynote lecture? I'll take that question again. So how was your experience today at the conference in delivering a keynote lecture? And if you could also highlight about the food you just had today, because it was a completely whole food, plant-based food. So how was your experience overall?
Encouraging to see whole food in this conference. All plant-based foods and minimally processed foods and very low in calories, diverse diets and diverse varieties of vegetables and fruits. Really colorful, the plate is colorful. Very nice to see that. And I'm happy to note that physicians are also getting into the fold of how important nutrition is. It is not at all just about therapeutics. I mean, you're giving more and more of, when you give each tablet, the patient also makes, it has a lot of adverse effects as well. So along with prescriptions, nutrition counseling is very important and doctors are learning about that, and that's really encouraging. Here in our guideline, what I spoke today in the seminar is how important it is to remember the proportion of food groups that you need to take, like how much cereals and how much pulses and legumes, and how your fat should be, your oils and fat should be those that are integrated in foods like seeds and oil, nuts and oil seeds, and also how protein, we need not go overboard with the protein intakes and we need not think that we are taking inadequate protein, but the quality should be maintained, and all this will come when you follow a balanced diet, when you take diverse diets which has good proportions of varieties of foods like pulses, legumes along with whole grain cereals, and also inclusion of adequate amounts of vegetables and fruits.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With the last question I have for you, we would want our doctors not just to be preachers, but we would want them to practice as well. So someone who is completely new to this concept of nutrition or a whole food plant-based kind of diet, what is the first thing you would ask them to start doing, which would be easy to do and will give them results as well?
Jen. See, for physicians, you said if they don't practice, people who do not practice cannot advise patients with that conviction. I'm sure only those physicians who practice this nutrition can advise their patients or people accordingly. Only then the message goes correctly. And one advice I would like to give is, in the current situation in Indian practice where people are consuming very less vegetables and legumes and pulses, I would say start your day with vegetables, end your day with vegetables, and in between you take adequate amounts of cereals and pulses.
Thank you so much. With this, I would thank you all for listening in, and hope we are seeing a sea of change, and hopefully next year when we meet and have this conference, we would have made a lot of progress. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
Tasters on their payroll who come up with this perfect combination of SOS, salt, oil and sugar. Again, I won't name the big companies here. We have hidden the names, but I know you can all guess who they are, right? Ironically, they make their ads sound like it's a good thing, and they profit at the cost of your health. We also do gut scans. This is a gastric emptying scan. And again, these graphs can change depending on the type of food we eat, liquid, solid, plant, otherwise. That is a picture from my garden. We are seeing the moss on the bricks on a rainy day, tropical Bangalore weather. Just like how these bricks, they form the basis or the substrate to the moss which grows, food forms the substrate to the gut microbiomes which grow in the gut. And these are tiny creatures in the gut which act as the second brain, and they control our feelings. And I do have a gut feeling that fiber-rich, plant-based foods are good for you. And research has proven that time and again. This is almost like snorkeling, the beautiful, colorful gut microbiota, different species. And if you look up NASA's website, even as of today, what you can see is there is a lot of new research coming up focusing on understanding the molecular impact of food in space, travel, on human health. And we are utilizing what is called genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, the omics, if you will, to develop personalized, customized countermeasures for astronauts. So there are basically two twin astronauts. There's one on Earth and one in space, and they're doing a whole bunch of research, and maybe in the next 7 years we'll know a lot more than what we know today. So what is culinary medicine? How many of you are physicians here? Please give me a hand. Great. How many of you are not doctors here? I think that's an easy question. I see a couple, but that's good. So this is a subject which is not dietetics, or it's not nutrition, it's culinary medicine, where you use food in prevention and therapy, treatment of diseases. I'm going to just take you through a whole bunch of research, and links are already provided there. This again was bringing back home economic education in JAMA. Another one again which looks at massive open online nutrition and cooking course. We ourselves have developed one in Bangalore for improved eating behaviors and meal composition. If you guys are interested, I'm going to share you the link. You can sign up for that. Shared medical appointments, which is a portal for nutrition and culinary education in primary care. It was a feasibility project. And again, nutrition education in the era of global obesity and diabetes, thinking out of the box. Lifestyle medicine, successful reimbursement methods, particularly in the US, where they have proven over and over again food can be healing. Home food preparation practices, experiences and perceptions, a quantitative interview study with photo elicitation. Dietary guidelines in the 21st century, a time for food. A call for culinary skills education in childhood obesity prevention interventions, current status and peer influences. Health-related culinary education, a summary of representative emerging programs for health professionals and patients. And legumes, health benefits to minimize pesticide exposure and support sustainable farming. Building a whole food plant-based and many of the flavor boosters like the nutritional yeast, tamari, smoked paprika and fresh herbs, they can really be helpful. What we'll do now is partner with each other. We can just pass that around. One item per table. Okay. So, and there is a picture, there's a label, this is on the basket. You can take a picture of this when the basket comes to your table and share it with aim for less than 30% of daily calories. Sodium needs to be less than 2,500 milligrams per day. Avoid sugars, keep it very low. And fiber, at least 3 grams per serving. So that's what is needed. MSG, monosodium glutamate, another very popular one in most of the Chinese type of food for the flavoring. It's a neurotoxin. Multiply the serving size into the number of servings that you're going to eat. And for, if it says, this is high, it means they can claim that it is over 20%. And ingredients are listed by weight, highest to the lowest. So if you see the first item is sugar, you know how healthy it is or unhealthy it is, right? And you look for the first 3 ingredients. Again, they make up most of the food. So whatever 3 ingredients are on the label, that is what it is. And again, fewer ingredients usually means it's less processed. So the fewer the ingredients on the label, that means it's healthier. Better choices in your checklist is look for more fiber, protein. Moving to the next part, where now we have gone, we have shopped, we have bought what we want to buy into our homes. We know what to buy. We have a nutritional checklist here. So, what are things that you can do which can, in pictures of the legumes and these pulses before, how long does each one take, and what are the not so healthy things in each of the legumes, and how do you subtract that before you introduce it? Our downloadable, it's a free download. I'm going to leave that on the screen for a minute. It's a booklet PDF about fermented foods. If you guys are interested, you can just scan that and take a picture of that, and it's that thing. Give me a thumbs up if you've got it. We'll move to the next. How we sprout at home. I have a new video on this where we have completely shifted to steam. This was many years ago, so we have like 4 containers, and you get these sprouting jars, and you can get wet one also. I prefer the dry one, and we have the seeds there. You can just water it, and if somebody else can help us with the basket, I would like to this is her thing. Things is we are using plastic here. We don't use plastic at home. Try to use terracotta bowls or ceramic bowls. Terracotta sometimes gets that white like fungus, so I have a bottle of hydrogen peroxide right next to that, if you can see. That works great. A white bottle also. Yeah. So that's hydrogen peroxide. Yeah. You can clean the thing with that, and that's taken care of if you are using terracotta. Otherwise, I think we have switched to ceramic now because we don't need to do that. And depending upon what you're growing, we have a supply. We have at least, I think, my next picture. Yeah. So we can even train your people and they will take care of it. And we have an entire, it's a 2-hour thing. We do workshops on this at the greenhouse. Can come back to the slide. I can show them more pictures. And which we eat as a vegetable. There can be roots which you see, carrots, radishes, beetroots and turnips, all again from my garden. And you're seeing bendi and chili, these are seed part of the plant. So each part has, and of course leaves we know, we eat palak and stuff. So there are, the plant itself has different parts which we consume as vegetables. Flying around things we love. We have many cats there. Garden be healthy. So these are really almost very welcome in my garden. And when you grow them into extracts from the ear, lemongrass freezes well, the other ones are in the dried form. Sometimes it lasts me throughout the year. The black pepper you need to boil, put it in hot water, it dries, and that's after when it becomes. You can preserve them like lemon pickles or tomato sauces. When it's a nice, keep it for a year or so, it lasts me. So we'll also quickly show you a couple of, so we finished growing our food. So can we do the air fryers are great. This is what we have done, colorful juices, one for each day of the week. And use steel straws, not plastic straws. Vada. Because you're going to dunk it in your tire vada or in your dahi pala. It's very nice to do, you can do this. And the dahi pala on the top. So she's also trained, she makes, we have now migrated towards coconut. I think coconut milk curd is the best for South India curd rice. So we can do that as well. Again, homemade pizzas. We do that. My mother was such a good formula. And these are fantastic charts. Very little oil. Like if you have, for the puffs, I use quinoa puffs or do the demo where we do the golgappa in the air fryer. I think many people are doing that. And multiple salads which can be very well. I think that was also served for lunch today. That was another birthday cake we made, completely gluten-free, made with laddus, for Shankranti and stuffed. Again, air-fried samosas, pasta with one pressure cooker whistle, things like that. So if you can see, this is the plate which is recommended. So one chapati, a big salad and a big vegetable. So if you want to take a second chapati.
One is almond cake, second is soy milk B. Our choice was soy milk B. The reasons being, in this, first of all, there is no sugar. Secondly, sodium content is low. And thirdly,
to get get all the questions right. So, and we have a little prize for her. Yeah, and we'll. Oh, great! Come. Who from the table? One of you. And she had gotten the vegetable avocado, a fruit, and she didn't know what it was. So that's a great. You knew what to do with it. Sorry. Okay.
She's out of it. Yeah. No. Normally what I prepare with this is, first of all, you can eat it fresh as it is. What I do is I just cut it into 2 halves and then just de-seed it, and then you just have to squeeze lemon on top of it, pepper, salt, and you just eat it. It is just yum. Apart from that, you can do guacamole, which is a Mexican dish. You can do sandwich out of this. And, Ice creams, yes. So a couple of things which are really, really tasty and good for health as well. Thank you so much.
Any other?
Dips, yes. Dips, of course. Yes.
Thank you. So, and we have, what was this? A baby corn. Okay, you want to read out all the dishes you're going to do with baby corn?
So, baby corn salad, Manchurian, corn fry, corn steamed, boiled corn, and corn stuffed parathas, corn flakes, corn kosambarī, corn, some powder, dried corn powder, corn soup, popcorn, corn roll, corn vada, corn pasta.
Corn flakes, maybe not. That's not something we can do at home. And there was another onion and there was a bean, right? So we'll do this 14.
Nati irulli. I was actually waiting for this only when that bowl came. Hope there is onion in this. It's an excellent prebiotic. It can be eaten in the raw form and even in the cooked form. It's used everywhere. I can't name all those countless dishes, but I'll generalize it. We'll use this in salad, all sambas, all curries, chutneys, garnishing in majority of the dishes. It is included in the breakfast, lunch and dinner, including the snacks like pakodas, masala vadas, and we can make all sauces and pickles from this, like tokku. We can add this in buttermilk and raita, toast, stuffed parathas, onion dosa, masala vada, cutlet, etc., etc., etc. And our Indian food is always incomplete, and it's nothing, it's tasteless without this onion. And this is a beautiful crop, and it's a 90-day crop. You put the small one, and in another 90 days, you'll see almost 5 to 6 times this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How many were there on that? How many numbers? Onion. Onion is a very easy one. And I think there was one more person with 15 on the beans, right? Are we going to do 25? Come on. I think that's, please come. I think that's going to be the winner, and we'll close with that in the interest of time. Yay. Priya is from, no wonder you had to get that. They have 25. Let's hear them out.
Good afternoon.
What was the vegetable?
I'm Dr. Deepak. So I got carrot. So we can make gajar halwa, kosambari, carrot palya, soup, salad, chips, juice, muffins, chutney, bread, sambar, stew, paisa, carrot rice used in toast, carrot upma, cake used as a vegetable dip, raita, pickle, and for garnishing, carrot paratha, kimchi, ice cream, pudding.
Thank you. She will do the honors. I think we are running out of time. Really great, guys. Thank you for the enthusiasm. I think we are running out of time. Thank you.
Selected blueberry. So this is high in antioxidant, and also fantastic recipes we can prepare with this is smoothie, blueberry smoothie, and also we can prepare like pancake, adding along with the millets, and also you can use as in raw salads and all. As a raw also you can add it for the toppings and all. It's very excellent antioxidant. So thank you.
One thing, yeah, so you can keep that vegetable or fruit, take it home, cook something with it, and tag us. You can tag me and Pan India also with the dish which you made and with the recipe. I'm, I think, Dr. Maitri Shankar, MD on Instagram, and Pan, of course, you're all following.
Experience. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Regina Shahin ma'am to share a few words.
Basically, it's not just sharing words. I myself couldn't complete my PPT thinking that my time was over. But anyway, basically I came here to invite all of you to, whoever has not joined the group, please join the group. Let's take this as a moment. You need to understand that, the nutrition in medicine movement is not just limited to PAN. There is ISLM, Indian Society of Medicine, Lifestyle Medicine. There is Longevity and Lifestyle Medicine Conclave, which is happening in IASC. There is PCRM, multiple of those organizations are there, which is trying to make this as a, forefront of healthcare actually. Please come forward and be with us, and you can also engage with us in various capacities. Some of you can volunteer with us, like some of the volunteers are doing. Some of you can become part of the city chapters. Some of you can join as part-time faculties, who are helping us with, content creations and, maybe online programs and things like that. Please be with us. It's just an awareness program. You will be learning a lot more in detail in the coming months and years with us. So this is what I wanted to communicate, and please get into the next session.
You know what? There is cockroach under your table. Please stand up. Shake your hands. Shake your legs. Can we clap once again? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can also say along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Shiva ma'am, Sandhya ma'am, everyone, please come on the stage. No? All the Victoria out there, please. Woo, thank you. You can sit. There is no cockroach. No cockroach.
Okay. So my job is made simpler because I'm going to be the last speaker. Many of the things have been covered. Of course, the next one is panel discussion. Is that right? Okay. So I'll try to make it short. And interestingly, there are 2 cardiologists other than me here. So I think in Mysore we had 3 or 4, and this is the second time I'm seeing fellow cardiologists sitting with us. And obesity, they are considered to be the only causes. But beyond that, we also have behavioral changes. So the behavioral cardiology is coming up in a very big way, and that's the reason basically they are the causes for the physiological changes. And what is that one thing which takes care of all these things? That's your food. You say this is a modern disease. At least one person says. So I would like to take the next part also. Meetings including me for that sake. Okay. So many of you say that it's not a modern disease. I fully agree with that. We will have the second question here. What is the best screening tool for coronary artery disease? Screening tool should obviously not be invasive, and it should not be doing any harm, even in one single person. And here is one mummy from whom we have to learn something. Okay. CT coronary calcium, possibly in later stages when you have a reasonably occluded vessel, a reasonable stenotic vessel. Okay. For now, we have that alone as a screening tool. CT coronary angio, of course, as he said, is in Egypt had coronary calcium. That is what talks about atherosclerosis as an ancient disease. Okay. Now, and most of them live actually on plants and fruits and vegetables. 56% comes around so many times these days. So 56% of the risk comes from the diet. I have to say that you should not take this, you should not take this, you should not take this, isn't it? Fat, your meat. Yes, they do cause disease, but what causes more disease is about the recent advances, and every time something comes up new, it gets flashed in the news, isn't it? So drugs have been known to reduce the cardiovascular event by more than 40%. The rest is what is called as residual risk. So modification, and mainly by our dietary modification. Factors. Dyslipidemia and smoking. 2/3 of the patients will be having one of those risks. 1/3 of the risk can be reduced by taking 4 to 5 servings of. Look out only for these risk factors, but the important thing lies in the behavioral change. That is what I said. So majority of the patients, 50% of the patients with cardiovascular, what the book say. But if you are going to include the behavioral risk factors, 90% of them will have some. What guidelines stopped? Okay. So I would like to mention one instance. I had a conversation with some of the, when the ADA comes out with the guideline, every year they come out with the guideline. I have the guidelines. So it's not the guidelines do not talk about the diet. Guidelines have been talking about the diet for a very those initial 50% of the guidelines. And we read on the drugs, interventions and surgery. When it comes to cardiology, we talk about the 2 guidelines. One is the American Heart Association, the other one is the European Society of Cardiology. Let's see what they can achieve and expenditure to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight. Whereas the European Society guidelines straight away says adopt a more plant and less animal based food pattern. This is in print. Vegetables. Eat plenty and choose a wide variety is what AHA recommends. When it comes to whole grains, the fiber part alone the ESC has taken up, and he says derive majority of your fiber from the whole grains. Okay, so they say that you prefer plant-based protein and less of the rest. Processed foods and instead of ultra processed foods. Again, ESC is similar to that. And ESC says avoid all sweetened beverages. All refined products to be avoided. So the whole food concept is definitely there. Plant-based concept also is there. It is not a completely whole food plant-based diet. Even the next question. Okay, this might be a little difficult to understand. I will test. Then red meat, butter, not more than 2 servings. Let's open this up. Okay, this was published in 2022. Look at this, the guidelines which have come from various countries. United Kingdom, Australia, Belgium, they say complete food. Qatar says it's in a complete food. China says it gives immunity. This is all their comments on their whole food plant-based diet. They put it under the protein part and they say prefer plant-based milk. Belgium says you can derive majority of your calcium. Also started moving more towards the whole food plant-based diet so that vegetables, a variety of fruits, vegetables, the seasonal vegetables, that should be 50% of what you take every day. And of course rest from pulses. Okay, this, I'm sure you know this. So it works on endothelial function, it works on inflammation. All plant-based diets are anti-inflammatory. So trimethylamine oxide, I'm not touching upon that today. And this is improves your sleep as well as on the gut microbes. So I think the important message here is atherosclerosis. It has so happened that the parents have started bringing the kids with MI care of, otherwise somewhere down the line you'll end up like this and possibly someday you'll end up in a cardiologist.
It happens. So please feel free to share your experience. So we have the AHA slides back, so can you all please take out your phone so fast. Let me just read out the first question. Which of the following dietary factors is responsible for the highest number of deaths globally? Fats, diet high in red meat. So the actual answer for this is high sodium intake and not high trans fats. It's the sodium which is basically the root cause is high sodium intake. So how sugar is also not good for you. Sodium is also not that good. So high sodium intake is the right answer for it. Can you have the next question? 2 servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruits. So the right answer, the closest is 4.5. So let's go to the next question. What plant-based food is recognized as the most abundant source of dietary nitrates, which are associated with supporting cardiovascular well-being? Potatoes. It gives you the highest source of nitrates, which is promoting the cardiovascular well-being. Your arteries. So with that, we are coming to the end of this quiz. So please clap for yourself. So on that note, we have our next session, which is the panel discussion on.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dharni Pratipati. We are at 30th CME Bangalore. I would like to ask you, how do you feel the CME is?
Yeah, the CME was very educational. And being a doctor, actually we don't have much time to focus on all these minute things, but we were enlightened that there was a lot more in daily basic things, like whatever we start with the cooking thing, that is most important thing, like using the greens and everything, like growing in our own farm and then utilizing it in our own day-to-day basis. I think it was very enlightening for us, and it was very useful. So that I think for our kids also, like instead of making children, like nowadays people are more into like fat-based diet and all that, and they're getting more obesity. So we can avoid that by starting growing greens in our own houses, and then we can utilize it for day-to-day basis.
What is your favorite session in the CME?
Yeah, the ma'am's chapter, that is a culinary, based thing. That was very enlightening, and it was very, like, it was very motivating for us, and even she made it very creative, so that it was very, it was nice actually for us to know things.
How do you describe the CME in one word?
It was excellent.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, this is Dr. Shruti Sharma. Now we have another doctor with us for the feedback of our 30th CME in Bengaluru. So, hello sir, please introduce yourself first with your affiliation.
Yeah, myself Dr. Devasish Barik. I'm a physician and diabetologist practicing in Bangalore from last 10 years. And I have done my MD in General Medicine from Bangalore Medical College here itself. And I got an opportunity to come here through my friend who is a cardiologist, who was a panelist as well, Dr. Vittal Baggi. Yeah, so anything you want to ask?
Okay, and how do you do you have any feedback about our CME and any observation or any feedbacks or any positive feedbacks about it?
Yeah, this CME actually, see, we as practicing physicians, it's very difficult for us to attend all the CMEs, but I had to find time because I found this is a different kind of a CME. I mean, I have never attended such CME on, especially on nutrition.
What different you find in our CME?
Yeah, this CME is particularly very good in terms of it's completely plant-based. I mean, we are promoting plant-based medicine, so which is like we as physicians and diabetologists, we always deal with pharmacological therapy. But here, what we understand is nutrition plays as much important role as a pharmacy. I mean, nutrition has more role to play. So definitely many things to tell to the patients, like how to have complete remission. That is what I found, and even some of the sessions also they told how the complications can be sort of nullified and can be reduced by completely changing to a plant-based diet. So I found many of the sessions very sort of interesting because many of the things we didn't know. We as physicians also we didn't know. For example, for the first time we are seeing here, I mean, I got to know that cow's milk is bad. Okay, which is something I actually have not told to my patients as of now. I mean, rather than cow milk, we should go to plant-based milk like almond or soy milk. So that is one of the examples to be told upon to the patients.
We had dahi papdi chaat in our menu.
Another thing I want to highlight is actually majority of the CMEs which we go, the CME will be on something, but the lunch what we get is completely out of the place. But here, this is the one CME where the lunch also goes with the topics. I mean, we didn't get a lunch which is completely sort of what we get usually. Here, the whatever is taught, like walking the talk. So whatever was taught, the same thing was kept in the dining table as well. So which is very good. That is what I feel.
So did you realize that is not dahi?
Yeah, I realized that it is not dahi, but after having that. Yeah.
But someone told you about that this is not dahi. Okay. And we were having paneer also. Did you like
that? Is what, yeah, I saw it to be paneer, but when I realized it's not paneer, I saw the label and it was tofu. That is also another interesting part. Yeah.
Some words about the desert?
Yeah, deserts are also very nice, and definitely I like, though it was very rushed because I was discussing with my fellow friends, and by the time I went to the desert center, it was actually some deserts were not in place, but anyway, whatever I could taste, it was very good.
Yeah, sorry for that, sir. We prepared for the 180 and we got the fall for the more than 300. So yeah, sorry. And I would like to know, like in your era, when you were doing your MBBS, did you get any chance to learn about the nutrition, and do you have any message for the upcoming curriculum in the nutrition for the MBBS students?
That is one thing. Actually, even one of our senior professor also told in the session that during our days, I mean, when I did my MBBS in 2005, that is 20 years back. So that time, obviously, we didn't have anything of that sort, like to have any plant-based approach or a nutritional-based approach. But now, as the lifestyle has gone into more urbanized, even the food nowadays, it's more processed, and even our kids are also, majority of the kids are getting obesity in the very early age. So for them in the school to learn the food and the food habits, as well as not consuming junks or not consuming processed food becomes all the more important. And I personally feel that there should be a separate session in the school itself. I mean, not in the professional curriculum. In the school itself, they should be able to know what is the correct food, what is the amount of food consumption that we should have. Though in the very early age, they should be having some like energy foods, which is important for their bodybuilding. But at a certain age, like when they will attain the maturity, after that, the food consumption in moderation is very important. So before going to the college level, in the school level itself, there should be something taught to them about the nutrition. And when they will go to the college level or professional level, that they should implement. And definitely in medicine, definitely during the MBBS curriculum, I personally feel that there should be a separate topic on nutrition.
There should be a dedicated subject actually,
Yes,
not
yes,
topic.
Yes, yes, subject should be there, and there should be proper assessment as well.
Okay. So one word about our CME.
Your CME is absolutely fantastic, and I would rate it more than 5 if it is possible. 5 out of 5. I mean, if possible, I would definitely give more than 5. And I hope that this will further continue. And it's not the end, but it is the beginning of something very important.
Okay, sir, we will keep your name for the further association team. We will get definitely invite you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dharni Pratipati. We are at 30th CME in Bangalore. Here we have one of our contestants. So how do you feel the CME?
It's me, Dr. Sunita. I have 25 years of experience. I really feel great. This is the first time I ever experienced what you say they have implemented 100%. And all the recipes it was amazing. If you take soup, it was made with the almonds and all. It was so tasty. And all the salads were so colorful and bright. You were feeling tempted to eat. Like that it was. All the taste was really very nice, very yummy taste. And nothing to compensate, no wrong foods, nothing deep fried, everything was normal. I really appreciate, and even desserts were made with the paneer payasam, was really good. And they have made kheer, and even ice cream was good. All you need not to point out anything. Like that was the thing, snacking item with the lotus stem they have made, and other snacks also. Lot of lettuce and all was used. It was amazing. So what I would like to say is, if really this nutrition is something everybody never is to give so much of importance. This CMI, they have done a lot of efforts to make it practical and implement the things in a proper way. And everybody they were doing in a very healthy way, and all the talks were really very knowledgeable, and group panel discussion also was really good.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dharni. So what is your favorite part of the CME?
Almost all the sessions were very informative, and all the speakers were very excellent speakers. The rating what would I like to give for the CME is no doubt 5. Okay, because the activities, the demos, and it was awesome. And especially the lunch menu like it was planned on plant-based diet, right? It was excellent, very healthy, and there is no words. Thank you.
How do you rate this CME?
5.
What did you learn from this CME?
It's almost like, almost my subject was totally, it was covered. I am a clinical nutritionist, so all my subject was fantastically covered by all the speakers.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dharni Pratipati.
I'm Dr. Basuraj. I'm a retired anesthetist from the UK. So if you want to ask me any questions, go ahead.
So how do you feel about this CME? What are the new things that you have learned in this CME?
The interesting thing is, first of all, introduction of the CME to the allopathic doctors is a rare thing. And we are not trained in nutrition as such. And as a medical trainee, we didn't have even an hour's lecture on nutrition, which is absolutely unacceptable and unpardonable. And nowadays, when my colleagues, although I'm retired, what I have seen in my practice being a retired anesthetist is, they, as doctors, we reach out for the prescription pad. And nutrition is non-existent. When the question of nutrition comes, when the patient asks, what shall I eat, doctor? Correct it in the food. And what's the food? Just eat fruits and vegetables, just the minimal things. So, as a retired anesthetist, and I had a stent put in, and I was active even well before that. But the COVID can make any changes in the body to work in the reverse way. So I learned one thing. So my block was in LAD. So it is called a widow maker. But nowadays, me being a widower, there's nothing like a widow maker, because even the women contribute to the financial side. But between men and women, they don't go to gender-free kitchen. So I asked them, if they don't go to gender-free kitchen or gender-free forum, we want to spend more time in the hospital. So with your pathology, not with a good physiology.
So, what is your favorite dish, sir, here?
It is interesting. When I became a widower, I had to bring up my 4 children, 5, 6, 8 and 9 years.
What is the one thing that you have learned in the CME? Not the one thing, you can just tell me 2 to 3 things.
Well, it's interesting. It has thrown a lot of light into what I have studied as a nutrition and life, and to make some changes and to introduce some extra portions of my knowledge into it.
How is the culinary experience here, sir?
Culinary experience is pretty good actually. So I was expecting it to be a 5-star hotel with more oil and other things, but it has satisfied my way of thinking with nutrition. So with the composition of vegetables, fruits and all the other millets, so I was quite pleased with the food served here.
What are the improvements or feedbacks that you can give to the CME?
Right. Few things. From my own experience, I have learned 3 things and I have moved on from my normal nutrition to the proper nutrition. That is 3 things: fiber, antioxidants and anti-inflammatory phytonutrients. The basic 3 things that act as the foundation, and the other superfoods to add to it, so that antioxidant act as anti-inflammatory plus anti-cancer agents. So that is one thing I learned. And then in my practice, in my day-to-day lifestyle, I introduced exercise. I was able to cover 35 kilometers in 7 hours and 40 minutes. That was on 1 meal a day. Before that 1 meal, so and then I also went on to do fasting. In December first part of it, I did 2 lots of 3 days of fasting, water fasting. So in the second lot, I learned what were the problems I had experienced in the first 3 days. I was able to rectify it and do 1 hour low intensity and high intensity exercise, and was able to do 10.5 kilometers on the 3rd day. So I strongly advise people to undertake nutrition, exercise and fasting. Fasting is the remedy for everything, and it is the physician within self actually. So that is from the Hippocrates period.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being here. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Dharani. And how do you feel this CME? Like, what are the new things that you have learned in this CME?
Actually, we got to know this recently, but we learned about how to implement plant-based nutrition and evidence-based nutrition into myself in my daily living, lifestyle modification, and with patients. Whomever I come across, I can recommend them about utilize or implement evidence-based nutrition in their lifestyle, so that it will be helpful for them to prevent from cardiovascular disease and stroke and other things.
What is your take-home message from the CME? Like, do you educate your friends? Or if you want to educate your friends, how do you describe that?
So again, like, I will educate my friends as well as my patients to go for nutrition, like evidence-based nutrition, especially the food. Everybody knows like how to take the food and like what should we eat, but they don't practice usually. So that like we will see, we will help them to educate the nutrition.
According to you, what is the major difficulty that youngsters face in practicing the whole food plant-based or any evidence-based nutrition? What are the things that's stopping them?
Lack of motivation, and also availability of junk foods, and they need a proper education and training, and also knowledge about how this works and benefits of having this kind of evidence-based nutrition in a long term with them and with their family and with their loved ones. So it would be easy for them, and more motivating factors to implement in their lifestyle. That's what I feel.
How do you describe the CME in a single word?
Actually, it's so like prevention is better than like that can describe. Like if we go for plant-based foods, again in the future we might not get a cardiovascular disease. Again, for that we need to go to hospital, we should pay we should spend a lot of money over there. Instead of that, better to switch for this foods like the nutrition foods.
Also, prevention is better than cure. It's very important. We all know that, but we fail to practice it in daily life. But if you implement that, we can try to avoid having diseases or illness in future.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, myself Dr. Dharani. We are at 30th CME in Bangalore. And hello ma'am, how do you feel this CME?
The CME is a very good initiative, and this is the first one I'm attending. It was a really interesting topic. It was really like the crowd was energetic. It was really good, and the best part of the CME is the activities which they held. They were engaging all the people, and the food. The food was excellent. And
what is your favorite food, by the way, which was served here?
The date pudding and the salads. They were really good, and the whole cauliflower rice. That was really good.
What are the take-home kitchen advices that you have seen, like whether changing from normal sugar to dates or jaggery, or what are the things that you have imbibed from the food that we have served here?
Yes, so I can see that healthy food is also tasty, and I'm tasting a lot of food for the first time, like all this healthy items. So I think I will start doing it in my kitchen. Yes, and add a lot of vegetables.
Can you describe the CME in one word?
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.